Hey everybody. Well, I've got kind of a challenging flight ahead of me this afternoon. AOPA's Air Safety Institute wants me to go out to their headquarters in Maryland and film a couple of stories from my books, Ferry Pilot and Dangerous Flights. And they offered to take me out commercially, but why would I sit in the back of somebody else's airplane when I can fly my beautiful Queen Air? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be taking my dad and my brother along so we can go visit Gettysburg after I'm done filming. But first we have to get there. And of course, looking at the weather, it's gonna be kind of a challenge because between here in Menominee and Fredericksburg, where I'm gonna be flying into, there's, I think, 4 lines of thunderstorms in my way. And it's late afternoon already, so by the time I get through the last line, it's gonna be dark, and that's challenging. Now, the Queen Air is a great all-weather airplane, but there's a slight problem I have right now, and that the onboard radar is in-op. And that means I'm gonna have to rely on ADS-B and ForeFlight, which is actually pretty darn good. I know a lot of people don't like using it. They say that the radar data is really old. Well, in my experience, it's usually only a few minutes old, but you have to take that into account. You can't use it as real-time radar. And that means I'm probably not going to go IFR because without onboard actual radar, you don't want to go in IMC conditions, busting through lines of thunderstorms, trying to weave your way through embedded cells. I'm going to stay VFR so I can actually see the thunderstorms and avoid them that way. Kind of keep me out of trouble. It's going to make it a little more challenging. I don't even know if we're going to make it there. I was actually, when I was talking to my dad earlier, I said maybe we should just wait till tomorrow, but his idea is like, hey, let's get as far as we can. It looks like it's pretty good until about Michigan, and if we have to pull over and get a hotel for the night, so be it. You know, we'll get halfway there. It's the reason for the trip is mostly for the adventure. It's not just travel. I mean, I can get there tomorrow. It's, you know, if I'm a little bit late, they can wait for me. I don't really have to be there till 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, so I've got some time. So what the heck, we're gonna go for it. It's kind of a stretch. It's gonna be, you know, stretching the limits of the Queen Air's fuel endurance, but I think it can make it. Again, we can always pull over and get gas, and we can always pull over if the weather becomes too challenging, but we're gonna go for it, and I think it's gonna be a really fun trip. I love flying the Queen Air. I love flying with my dad and my brother, and it's just nice and comfortable. And you know, you gotta put hours on the airplane. You gotta keep her lubed and running, and the best way to do that is to fly it. So we're gonna pack it up and get the heck out of here. See you up there. Okay, let's give it a shot. Oops. So we had to deviate from our direct course right off the bat to avoid most of the rain showers in eastern Wisconsin. So far so good. We're passing most of the rain showers and the sky ahead looks clear. It looks like the weather over Lake Michigan is clear, and we might get lucky and find a gap in that line of thunderstorms to sneak through. If not, we can either land and get in a hotel for the night, or deviate further south and try to get around it that way, which would actually set us up better for the next line of thunderstorms if we continue. It's a beautiful evening in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now, even though Lake Michigan isn't as scary as the North Atlantic, and we have 2 engines, I still wouldn't mind having a raft up. It looks like the line of storms around Pittsburgh is moving north and maybe dissipating a bit, hard to say, and it might be out of our way by the time we get there. The last line of storms looks pretty strong, and they're also moving slowly to the north, so we might be able to slide south and get around them. So it's getting a little challenging. We've got a couple of cells in front of us. There's a decent sized gap. That's about 9 miles wide. Plenty of room. So I'm trying to sneak around the backside of this one. They're moving from right to left, and we'll cut across. So we're climbed up to 11.5. Looks like that might get us over the top most of this stuff. I still do have the option to climb a little higher. Like I said, I do have my back door open. I haven't got myself trapped just yet. See an airliner up there way over the top, so he's not having any problems, but we're down and dirty. Having fun.
Attention all aircraft, has weather convective Sigmet 44 Eastern, valid until 0155 Zulu from Michigan, Lake Huron, from 40 East Northeast Traverse City, 70 North Northeast Sable, 30 Northeast Peck, line of thunderstorms 30 nautical miles wide, moving from 21025 knots. Top 5340, further information available on flight service frequencies.
So far, so good. Looks like I've come around the back side of this cell. Doesn't look like it's as big and tall. They were calling it extreme, but it's only about 12, 13,000 feet high, and there's a nice valley between here, so I'm able to sneak around through the gap. We've got a big cell over that way, big cell right here, clear skies in the middle. You gotta love it when a plan comes together. Ah, come on, that was too easy. Just big monster gap. We got big cell, approaches cautioning us, oh, you've got monster thunderstorms on both sides, you'll surely be killed.
I don't think we're done yet.
Oh no, but we're done with this first line. Yeah, no, we're by no means out of the woods, but and actually that stuff seems to be falling apart a little bit, so I'm cautiously optimistic. Problem is going to be dark by the time we get to the next 2 lines, so that's got its own challenges. But right now, we're groovy, baby.
Okay, climb flight level 390, traffic's not in sight, we're looking.
All right, little update here. The second line of storm seems to have dissipated. We're tooling around.
Arsenal 2176, fast 3,000, climbing 5,000, turning left 190.
Delta 2176, pit departure, radar contact, climb maintain 14, actually climb maintain 8,000.
Climb maintain 8,000, Delta 2176.
Yeah, we're just south of Pittsburgh, so there's going to be a lot of radio traffic. We just deviated 30 to the right. This line of storms around Pittsburgh wasn't too bad. Looks like that's kind of cleaned up a bit. But the stuff down by Cumberland, still looking pretty nasty. So we're going to deviate south, hook around that line there, and come up to the north. Still a plan. Things are getting sporty around Pittsburgh. They just had us do a little slalom course around a 737 or something. That was kind of fun. We're mostly back on course. Send it down to 8,500 under this cloud deck.
And then COSAR
Looks like I can see quite a ways now.
2728, that's a low-level medevac helicopter not talking to me, 2,100 indicated. 2728, hitting a 310, drone a little left.
W837, yeah, we're just on a heading at 240, probably.
American 555, tower 128.3, have a great day.
70 miles.
For approach, medevac 195 Alpha, check again.
400, Southwest 2090.
Alright, 195 Alpha, fit approach, Spirit 2979 or lower for you, about 5 miles.
Thank you. 195 Alpha.
Or 0 Echo Quebec, resuming navigation.
0 Quebec, roger.
Collision 20.
Okay, so yeah, things got a little busy around Pittsburgh. They had us deviate around some airliner that we were on a collision course with, and now I'm back on course. Like I said, we're deviating southeast to get around this thunderstorm. It looks like south of the thunderstorm is clear skies. I've been checking the ATIS for a bunch of different airports, and I can still see lights off to the south, so that tells me that that's VFR, conditions down there. I can see the thunderstorm up in front of me. I got some flashes of lightning in front of me, and looks like it's a pretty good thunderstorm. They're calling it, warning me for extreme rain, rainfall and lightning. But it does look like it's a pretty well-defined storm and a pretty well-defined southern tip. So I'm going to go around that. Once I get around the southern tip of that storm, I'll cut it as close as I feel comfortable with, as long as I can still see lights. That shows me that, it's VFR to my right or to the south. Then I'll hook it back around and flap to my destination. So that's the plan for now.
Approach Echo Quebec's going to need to go down to 55.
I'm sorry, who called?
0 Echo Quebec, looks like we should get down to 5,500.
0 Quebec, maintain VFR 5,500.
Roger, thank you.
And 0 Quebec, you can contact Johnstown on 121.2 and have a great day. They know about the altitude descent.
121.2, thanks a lot, have a good day. Here Tower, November 800 Echo Quebec, 8.5, climbing down to 55.
800 Echo Quebec, Johnstown approach, Johnstown altimeter 2984.
984.
All right, say that again.
Johnstown.
0 Echo Quebec, what altitude you headed down to?
Echo Quebec, we're leveling off here at 5,500.
Okay.
So we had to descend down to 5,500 to avoid clouds and stay VFR as we approach the last line of storms. And I'd like to stay VFR so I can see the city lights below and not blunder into a thunderstorm or a cell or something.
Oakland Garrett County Airport. Automated weather observation. 0, 1, tree, 2, Zulu. Wind, tree, 6, 0, at tree, knots. Visibility, more than 1, 0. Sky condition, Q, at 2,200. Temperature, 1, 8 Celsius, 2.16 Celsius. Altimeter, 2, 9er, 8. 9er, inches of mercury. Remark. Density altitude 4200. Celsius.
Number 800
altimeter,
Quebec, Washington Center,
2,
altimeter
8,
Grand County 297
inches of mercury. Remarks.
Maintain
Density
VFR, I
altitude
understand you're probably going to be deviating south, going around this line of weather that's from your 12 o'clock to your
Oakland Garrett County Airport.
9 o'clock.
Automated weather observation.
Heavy and extreme
0, 1,
precipitation.
4, 2,
assume you're going to be going on
wind,
this heading for about
calm,
another
visibility
40 miles
more
or so.
than 10. Sky conditions clear below 12,000. Temperature 18 Celsius.
800 Echo Quebec, Roger. I'll expect that.
Celsius.
Maintain VFR, altimeter Grand County 297.
Inches of mercury. Remarks. Density altitude
He
4200.
concurs with my plan. You're not going to go through that area. No.
Oakland Garrett County Airport.
Well, we managed to hook around the southern tip of the thunderstorms and head back north toward Fredericksburg, just like I planned. But of course, no plan ever survives contact with the enemy. Why do I say that? Because just as we turned north with the line of storms on our left, a new cell just popped up on our right. Wonderful. And so far, it looks like there's room to sneak in between them and get into Fredericksburg before it gets pounded by that second cell. Hopefully. Fredericksburg traffic, Queen Air 800 Echo Quebec, final 23, full stop, Fredericksburg. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fredericksburg. Fredericksburg traffic,